Oh, going through and digging out some old stuff here. Thought it'd be kind of an interesting video to show you guys sort of what I do. Over the last week or so, couple weeks, I've been actually putting together this studio out here, out in my studio garage. And so I got some drawings up, and basically I'd kind of do a little quick video to show you what I actually do. Some people, I'm always curious, people on on YouTube, what they actually do for a job, what they do for a career. And so this isn't really self-promotional or anything. I just kind of thought it'd be fun to share. I might end up doing another channel dedicated to this kind of stuff, more product design, industrial design. But I'm slowly getting my little studio set up out here. It was in the house for a while. We're having another baby, as you saw in one of the other videos. And so I'm getting pushed out to the garage, which actually is a good thing. There's a lot of room out here. I've cleaned it up and gotten it all kind of painted over the last summer, and so it's all nice in here. Still have some things I got to clean up, but overall I got my little design area over here. Computer's not out here right now, but I have that in there, actually uploading a video right now on YouTube. So yeah, basically what I do for a living is industrial design. So I graduated from Art Center College of Design, Pasadena, in 2006. So I've been in the industry now for about 10 years, almost 10 years now, almost 10 years to the day. And so a lot of this I threw some drawings up just for fun to have them on the wall. It's always good to see where you've been. But these are, I would say most of these are around 10 years old. Some of these projects are even older than that. So some of these were around my senior thesis at that time. But just kind of fun to look at. I still draw that loose, I guess. Style hasn't actually changed a whole lot. I think once you're in school, you kind of get your technique down, and it's all downhill from there. But so this is kind of what I do. I end up just doing it. Actually, industrial design is kind of interesting because sharpen up a pencil. Haven't used this for probably 10 years either. The old Prismacolor pencils. So yeah, you can't find sharpeners like that anymore. You can, but they're huge, and they don't make that actual one. So, which isn't a battery powered one. It plugs into the wall. So yeah, basically it's just a simple process. I mean, basically you get your design brief and your criteria and simple tools, pencil, paper. Now of course, a lot of these I was doing with pencil and paper and markers. Some of these markers right here I still have, and they still work fine. So but a lot of times now, as you see, I have a screen out here, and I do Photoshop, and I have a tablet, and I'll show you how to do that, the digital tablet. So that's kind of replaced a lot of this equipment that I have laying here. There's an airbrush over there. I was just digging through all this stuff as I had to move everything out and finding all these old relics. But I have this, this bin of pastels, and actually I ended up getting a set of it was a 36 pastels. So we used to use these for doing shading and cores. So we'd end up shading with pastels and cotton swabs. So you can do that with the same thing with an airbrush as well. But now, of course, we just use Photoshop, so it's a lot easier to make changes. But yeah, that's kind of what I do. And I mean, I'll zoom in here and kind of show you the basics of the drawing. And I actually have an old portfolio from 2003. Kind of interesting. That's kind of cool little book here showing one of my classes that I did and just basic rendering. So kind of shows some techniques, and nothing's really changed if you're going to do manual drawings. But yeah, it's been an interesting career, and it's sort of my it's what's put bread on the table for the last 10 years. But I obviously have an interest in off-grid stuff, and I don't know how I'm going to combine the two someday, but it would sure be interesting to do that. Everything needs design. You'd be surprised what actually gets designed. I worked for BMW Design Works for about 8 months or so, doing an internship and contract work while I was in school. I worked for Daimler Trucks North America, otherwise known as Freightliner, for about 7 years. And I kind of transitioned out of that vehicle. As you see, most of my portfolio here is all vehicle and car related, but I've sort of transitioned over to products. I'm not really going to talk about where I work now. You could probably put it together if you wanted to, but just due to conflict of interest and that kind of stuff, I don't typically talk about current jobs and that kind of thing. So, and I for sure don't show drawings or concepts for those places. So, got to keep it above board. Most of this stuff is schoolwork stuff, anyways. It's way out of date. But yeah, I'll show you some close-ups here and kind of give you an idea what I do. Yeah, I mean, drawing. If I had a straight edge on here or anything. You know, I can still draw probably some vehicles here. Let's do something. Let's do a little quick drawing here. Of course, as you get along in your career, you tend to draw the same things over and over again. It's not good. You got to break that cycle. But for this, I'm not thinking about something new. And frankly, I haven't drawn a car in a while, so I don't know what's going to happen. I may just end up deleting this footage here. Almost a hatchback. Let's see. It's always tricky to figure out where the glass ends up going here, but oh, you can just draw forever here. That's the thing. I'm actually going to put some lights in here real quick. Just learning how to kind of indicate things. I'm going to do a quick 5-spoke pattern real quick. Honestly, if it wasn't for drawing wheels, I'd probably still be interested in designing cars. They're such a pain to draw. I always want to rush these things, you know. And one of my instructors back in the day said that he spends a lot of time actually designing wheels at the beginning of the drawing, so he doesn't have to deal with it at the end. Because by the end of it, you're ready to move on. So he would design the wheels first, and that would kind of set the tone for the rest of the vehicle. I don't even know if people draw wheels like this anymore. This is just a standard kind of 5-spoke pattern. Everything's so finicky these days, you know, with everybody's trying to do something a little different, and in the end, I think it all ends up looking about the same. I'm going to do a little detailing here, just indicating things with pen and paper. I mean, you know, with, okay, yeah, you get your Photoshop and all that. That's nice, but really the basics are this. You know, just I have this idea for a little short end, tail end car, kind of sporty front end. Kind of mangled the front end a little bit here. Maybe I'll do some more detail on it. You know, it's pretty rough and ready here, but I mean, you kind of get the idea. In this industry, you would spend a lot of time doing more detail. You know, you get the theme down, and of course, I'm pretty rusty right now at doing cars. You tend to learn the subject matter, especially when you're a studio designer. I think I'm always really jealous of these guys who have this crazy cool portfolio with all these products in it, you know. But in reality, when you're a studio designer, you learn if you're doing shoes, you learn how to draw shoes. I mean, you just do them every single day. If you're doing freelance stuff, you know, you learn probably a little bit more variety. I'm gonna try to get that tire indicated. Tire on there. I don't have it. I lost my templates. My big ellipse templates years ago. You have to buy the small ones. These are too big for those. So. Some battery holding up on my mic. That's interesting. Well, that's pretty much it right there. I mean, I could keep going. I could make this thing as detailed as I want. But really, it just comes down to getting that, let's put a highlight on there. Getting that thing. Some of those reflections in there. Just kind of making the drawing do what you want it to do. I'm really looking for a lighter color here, so I probably don't. Just trying to go fast so it kind of blends it out. Yeah, that's basically it. You know, kind of fun. Glad I don't do this kind of stuff all the time. Detail in there. Let's put some more little details in there. Yeah, pretty rough. Pretty rough, but kind of fun. Mix some in there. Anyways, yeah, could be better. Whatever. What we do. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. It's kind of fun for me to do that, but I'm going to edit this down a little bit. But that's basically what I do, and you know, obviously don't draw cars anymore. That's pretty rough. Sorry about that. But I do products now, and so just thought I'd do a little video and showing you guys what I actually do for a living. You know, this is my home studio. I do work, you know, have a day job currently, so, but this process is exactly the same. I have the same equipment here that I do at work. So really, you know, it just depends on the subject matter. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you at the next video.